Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It is your boy SwagPair89. In today's video, I got another video for you guys I'm really excited to share with you. Now this isn't really going to be a guide or a how-to video. It's more of going to be what is the best, and today I'm showing you guys what are the best weapon attachments, best gun attachments, and which guns to use in your loadout in 2023 on GTA Online. Now, I've seen some videos out there like this before, but I figured I'd make my own video of this, of what I personally use, what I've seen, what I've tried out, and works best. So if you enjoy this video, smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, and feel free to comment below if you use any of these attachments as well, or what you personally find useful when you're doing stuff in GTA. And with that being said, guys, if this helps you out, and yeah, hope you enjoy, and like and subscribe. Let's get started. Alright guys, so we're going to start it here. So obviously you need to see the transition me walking out. I cut the video there. But anyways guys, let's get started here with this guide, or what attachments to have. Blech, I can't speak. But anyways, first off here guys, before we even get started, you're going to want to own these things before you can even equip any of these attachments. You're going to need a bunker, you're going to need a mobile operation center, or the Terrorbyte. Now I use the Terrorbyte for my weapons. Pretty easy, I can access it anywhere, and I can also use it for other things as well, but we're not going to look into the other things right now. We just want it for the weapons. So if you haven't already, go ahead and buy a Terrorbyte off of Warstock so you can do this. And also, to get most of these attachments, you're going to need to do research in your bunker. So if you haven't already, you're going to have to do research for some of these. If you're like asking, how did you get those attachments, or how did you get those specific things, you're going to need to have a bunker, and you're going to do all the research there. But once you do all the research and all that, you're set. You can come in here and you're good to go. Alright, so let's get started with this guide here, or tutorial, whatever you want to call it. I don't even want to call this the best and don'ts. So first off guys, I guess let's get started here with my sniper. This is my sniper right here. I got the Mark II variant here. I see people use the Mark I variant. You can revert it to this one, and I've seen people use this one. They like it a lot, and me personally, I don't use the regular one, the Mark I version. It's cool, and I like it, and I use it sometimes, but this one gives that little more oomph. Now, for magazines, I just use the explosive rounds. Now, I know I'll probably get a lot of hate about these, and I know these aren't ideally the best rounds to use for sniping. When you're strafing, you're doing sniper wiggling, whatever you want to call it, which most tryhards do, which is fun and all, and I like doing it, but these are really good for grinding, though, good for jets and all that. If you have a griefer in the lobby, a guy trying to harass you with a helicopter or jet, even some cars, far range distance, these guys will be your best friend here. You can blow up jets within 2 shots, except maybe B-11s, other more armored aircrafts like the Hunter and all that. Take a couple more shots, but lasers and stuff, which are what commonly tryhards use, these are good for them. You can take them out pretty quickly. Also good for NPC helicopters. When you're grinding and all that, I like having these on. Very useful. My best friend here, basically in missions. But obviously, if you're wanting to be a regular sniper kind of guy, you would want the extended clip here. Of course, also we have incendiary rounds and armor-piercing rounds, also pretty good. Usually can be used if someone's playing dirty, fighting really dirty. You'd want these, obviously, as these burn your targets, hence incendiary rounds, the name. And then these ones are good for people that like to use body armor, which makes sense to me. People want to use body armor and all that. These would be good to have. But obviously, these aren't all exactly the best, because you don't get as much clips in these ones as you would an extended clip, which is probably the best one you want to have out of all of them, being realistic. You get an extended clip, but still pretty cool. And then obviously for the scope, I have an advanced scope. Obviously you can also use the thermal scope, which I've seen a lot of people use too. But me personally, I don't like the thermal scope, as it hinders my range. And if I really need to see something with the thermals, I can just equip a thermal scope or a thermal helmet. I don't might look a little more sweaty, but that's usually what I like using, and it's also useful for doing other things, a thermal scope, and I always need to be zooming in my sniper. But pretty cool. And then this one, personally, I've never used the night vision scope. If you use the night vision scope, I want you to comment below, because I have never used this scope once. I don't really see the purpose of having a night vision scope. I mean, I have alphas of night vision equipped because it looks cool. And night vision sounds cool, and night vision is cool, but in GTA, realistically, I'm not really sure what I'm going to use this for. I don't really know what you're going to use this for. I've never had a scenario where I need night vision. Maybe like if you're in like a dark area, maybe. But most times, thermal or the advanced scope comes in handy more because I can still see, and I can see their heat signatures with these rather than just having this, which makes everything basically green, and I don't really need that. Of course, they also have a zoom scope, but obviously the advanced scope is better. I don't really know why you'd want a zoom scope. And then of course the muzzle. These don't really matter. These are all the same, well, except this. This is pretty useful though if you want to have your targets not being alerted, your NPCs, all that. You know, sometimes you're fighting NPCs, you want to run into you and shit, it's mad annoying. So you want to have a bit of a silence to your kills. You could equip this, but I used to have the bell end muzzle. You can also do the square end muzzle. I should have that equipped, probably not the bell end, but same thing basically. They don't really have a difference, I don't think. Some say this one's better than this one, but I'm not really sure. Of course, you also want to have the heavy barrel, all of that. Now, when I go through these, I'm going to go through them all kind of in the same thing. I'm not going through them all manually because it takes too much time. So I go for ARs. I'll probably just go through my favorite ones. But next up here, I got the Combat MG here. Now, for the Combat MG, this is one of my favorite guns in the game. This is a very good gun to use, especially against griefers, tryhards, and also just for NPCs and all that. Because it's extended clip with this thing, you can at least shoot 100 rounds. So awesome. You could say if it's like a fucking minigun, this thing is awesome. Obviously, you can also have other rounds too here, but these rounds I don't really see as any use. Maybe these ones if you're wanting to play a little dirty, or if someone's using body armors and bull shark testosterone, all that. I guess you could use these, but extended clips are what I use. And then this one, this is probably the useless one right here. These are good for vehicle glass, so basically any armored vehicle, but I don't really see a need for this simply because I can put these on other weapons, and kind of dumb if you ask me, but to each their own, I guess. If you like any of these rounds, go for it, but personally I just like extended clip. And then of course we need a grip here. Now for scopes, it doesn't really matter what you have. Actually, it kind of does and doesn't. It's up to you what you like. So a lot of people might be asking why I have no attachment on my scope versus having this large scope, and the reason is if you have no scope on your gun, you get a longer range with it. You can shoot farther, but in return, your recoil on the gun, how accurate you can shoot it when you aim down the sights, is not going to be as good. But if you want to have that extra accuracy, you would want to have the scope. But like I said, to each their own. If you want to have more range, you have without, which is what I personally use. But if you want to have accuracy over range, you would want to have a scope, because you can see here like it hinges the range. But it's to each their own. If you like, and also scope looks probably better with the scope. Personally, I think it looks cool, but it's just personal preference. If you like the scope, go for it. I personally like the scope, but I also like having the range, so I chose not to go with it. But to each their own. And the same for the muzzle. The best muzzle is obviously the flat end muzzle. This is probably the best one. It does the most damage. If you don't believe me, you can check out Arson's video. He does gun comparison videos, and this was the best one to use. And of course, we have the large barrel, or heavy barrel, and all that. Next up here, we're going to talk about my ARs. Now, I'm going to go through all my ARs. I'm going to go through them all, not all one by one. That would take too long, but I will go through them in general. So most of my ARs, I have different clips on them. It just depends what you like for your clips. For my favorite ARs, which is the carbine rifle, I just have an extended clip without a suppressor. Now, usually I've seen people use suppressors for their muzzles, which, don't be wrong, is great. But personally, I like having a split end because more damage. But to each their own. I like the sound with a suppressor too, so if you want a suppressor, go for it. I think it's pretty cool. And then of course, all the other upgrades you want to have with the grip and all that, because if no, I thought the grip wouldn't be as accurate. Now for my extra guns here, for this one I have armor rounds. This is people won't play dirty. I can switch to this one. It has armor rounds. Obviously not as deadly, but pretty cool. And then for my assault rifle and my carbine, I have full auto jack rounds, which is really good for armored cars. Say you got something like an Armani car, armored car of a sort, or Night Shark, Insurgent, all of them. Those guys can be very annoying, and I always find it stupidly annoying when they drive around, try to run you over and blow you up. And these guys are basically my best friend in those kind of situations. You can shoot through the windows pretty quick, like butter, basically. So useful to have, and I'm so glad I have some guns equipped with them in my wheel, as it can be very useful. And obviously, I also don't have a suppressor in here because I'm not really going to be using this much, but when I am, I have the rounds. Next up here, we've got my pistols and SMGs and all those. Now, for my pistols, I just have armor rounds and fire rounds, for most of them anyways. But for my revolver, you want to have them always on armor rounds, or not armor rounds, full metal rounds, because really good for armored cars and stuff. I like using this when cars are chasing me, say like a night shark or someone chasing you, and you have some problems. This is really good because you can use this gun in your car. You obviously can't use your AR in the car, of course, which would be pretty dope if you could. This isn't like a Saints Row game or another type of game like that. I think you can use guns out of the car in Saints Row. I remember Game of Williams, but there was a game like that where you could. Well, obviously you can't in this game, but nonetheless, this gun you can. So I find this very useful. You can use full metal jacket rounds on here. So awesome. And then for the scope, you just have whatever you like. The scope probably makes it better, but like I said, to each their own. And then of course you can also have this on here, which makes it better. Why would you not? This is better. But yeah. And then for my marksman rifle, where's my marksman rifle? This is what my marksman rifle. Now there's two things you can do in your marksman rifle. You can have it like mine, where you have a large scope, or you can have a holographic sight, which basically makes it like an AR, which is pretty deadly if you ask me. Is a really powerful weapon. Now I've switched between having armor piercing and full metal rounds, or incendiary rounds, I mean, or extended clip, but I found extended clip better because when I have explosive rounds on my sniper and I have someone I want to fight and it's annoying to use the explosive rounds, I can switch to this and use it pretty quickly. But sometimes I found it easier to have these on as it gets the job done quicker. But like I said, to each their own. It doesn't do it as much. There's not much rounds in this. I can't speak today as this, but these are better too. And then of course for the scope, just have a large scope. And then for the muzzle, I have a flat end muzzle. You also have split end, which is like I thought would be the best one because it's at the bottom of the page, but of course this one's better. But to each their own. And then for my pump shotgun, I have explosive slugs, which is really great. Now, obviously, I've actually had a friend that has used the Dragon's Breath shells or the steel buckshots or the fletchets. But I disagree with him on that. He says that the shotgun is deadly in itself without having explosive rounds, which is true. Is a pretty deadly weapon. But me personally, I just like having explosive rounds. Great for bigger enemies, juggernauts, and all those when you're doing heists, maybe, or if you're doing robbery in progress kind of missions, and even sometimes survival missions. I find these to be very useful. But if you like having these as well, and use one of like a regular shotgun, go for it. But I don't personally see people usually using this much. And for my scope, I have a holographic sight, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't really think it matters what you have on your shotgun. I think the holographic sight looks fucking dope. So I have a holographic sight on, but it's whatever's personal preference. You can also have a large, not large, a medium scope, which is what I initially had, but I have come to learn having no attachment, I believe, makes it better, your range. But I'm not really sure if it doesn't go up or down, but it does make your accuracy better, so I'm not really sure on that one. But either way, pretty cool. And that's basically it for my gun attachments. These are the gun attachments I have, and I recommend you equip them as these are all great for defending yourself against anti-griefers, or not anti-griefers, my bad, tryhard griefers, and also helps, very useful for missions and stuff if you want to get the job done. Most of these ammo types and attachments I have on my gun are what I use and help me do good and excel. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out, and if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have any if you have any other opinions or anything else you want to share, leave in the comments. And don't forget to tell me what you guys have on your weapon, because I'm generally curious and I want to know who the hell has the night vision scope on their sniper. It's stupid, and I will probably never use this, but hey, if you do, you do. You do you. Anyways, guys, have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.